Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Living Life at LifeView. I am your host, Dr. Veronica Garcia, and today we are joined by a professor in the psychology department on the undergraduate psychology department at Life University, Dr. Michael Amos. Hi, Dr. Amos. How are you doing today?
Hey, how are you?
I'm so good. How are you?
I'm super excited to be here.
Awesome. I'm really happy to have you.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get to the Life University and why psychology?
That's a good question. I actually moved to. Dang, that's bad.
No, it's okay.
I actually moved from Colorado about 7 years ago, and when I moved here to Atlanta, Georgia, I was looking up schools because I had finished my doctoral program in psychology, and I'm like, I want to teach, but I've always been like a very holistic kind of person, and I went and looked online and I saw Life University pop up, and I saw they had like undergraduate and graduate programs, and they had one in positive psychology. And I'm like, I would love to teach that because I love flow, mental toughness, all those different subjects that, encompass positive psychology. And I remember I emailed the school and they didn't have any openings. And then I think I drove over to get a brochure to see what their campus was like. And down to this day, I'm actually not sure if I actually came to this campus, but that's another story. I think it was.
You drove somewhere.
I drove to some campus, but make a long story short, I ended up, applying. I actually started out on the online campus teaching positive psychology. Nice. And then last year, I started teaching undergraduate.
That's beautiful.
So I don't know. Maybe it was just a God thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm here.
In the right place at the right time.
You're right. You're right. Yeah.
And why psychology?
Because everything's psychology. Like the biggest enemy to ourselves and the greatest benefit we have is our mind. Mm-hmm. And if you know how to manage it, then you're king. Mm-hmm. But if you don't, then it's king over you.
Let's go ahead and give some claps to that. And you are the founder of an institute. What is this institute about?
It's called Renovatio Leadership Institute. And what it's really about is self-care, self-management. We focus on a lot of things like mindfulness practices, looking inward as opposed to looking at external things, trying to control them. So I usually the coaching focuses on, mid-level managers or just younger people, athletes. It just depends on anybody that wants to, create change in their own life and become more self-aware and become a warrior. They usually coach with me.
I love that. Just like your shirt says.
Yeah.
Warrior. So the people that are listening in and not watching, he does have a shirt that states warrior. I love that. That is a very powerful word that I identify with a lot. So it's really beautiful that you have it on today and kind of speaking it at me, and you mentioned it in the podcast. That's beautiful. That's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
And I understand also that you have a book out there.
I do. It's called The Road to Renovatio. And so that book actually... it really talks about my journey or my path to being a warrior. It talks about like just different struggles and different things I went through as a young person, and just the warrior ideology, how that how to embody that, and then how to embody mindful practices in your life,
So how would you define being a warrior?
A warrior is someone that's benevolent. So they use kindness. A warrior is someone that they implement courageous fear. So they might be fearful, but they're going to step forward no matter what with courage. A warrior is a servant. It's someone that, serves the needs of others.
Sounds like you're in the right place.
Yeah, exactly. This Life University aligns with my values.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely. Yeah. And how would you say that, you mentioned that throughout your company, throughout your foundation, there's business levels, mentorship and coaching, right? And I think as a business owner, I think that if your mind is not right, your business is not going to be right.
No.
Okay. How would you then break that down for a young entrepreneur that's listening in that maybe hasn't had that step to actually start the mindfulness practice and start becoming that warrior, what are
what would they do?
What are some steps that they would take?
So here's I call this the push model. So it's the first thing you want to do is you want to focus on purpose. The second thing is you want to develop an understanding or self-understanding. So PU, understanding, right? And then self-mastery. Self-mastery is key because as an entrepreneur, you know that no one dictates your schedule. You have to manage your time. You have to manage your mind. It's all about your choices. And you can't blame anyone for the choices that you make.
Right.
So what you eat, all that's important. When you sleep, all that's important. It all contributes to your level of performance. So again, so PUS, and then H is harmony. So the mindfulness is where you go to when your mind is going crazy and things are just getting all wild, right? You focus on harmony or balance. So the push model, that's what I call it. So that's how I would.
That's beautiful. That's awesome. That's definitely a great way to start identifying what are the steps that the entrepreneur has to take slowly but surely, because this is also, I believe, and tell me if you disagree, this is a lifelong, very long process to master and to become that warrior. You have to choose to become that warrior on a daily basis.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yeah. And that's why I think, like when you look at, I mentioned the idea of self-mastery. Self-mastery is a daily, it's a daily struggle. Mastering your mind is a daily struggle. You take 2 steps forward, you take 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. It's just, you're constantly climbing, a mountain, but you're focusing on taking 1 step at a time and remembering to breathe as you go.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. So what class did you teach at the university? I
teach Psych 101. So I get all the
babies.
Yeah, I get them excited. I think I get them excited, and then I get them thinking about the possibilities, the importance of self-care. So some of the things I cover, stress, I think that's super huge. I mean, this generation is probably the most stressed out of any generation. We're bombarded with stimulus wherever we go. That hurry and worry. Yeah. Continuously. So I understand. Yes. To have students come in, I'm like, let's take a step back and take a quick deep breath to relax the system. Oh no, but I have to take a step back. Yeah. Let's take a nice deep breath. Yeah. Yeah. Stress is a huge piece for these students. And plus, in a quarter system, it's a go system, right? Yes. So having to understand to manage that go calendar, but also that stress piece. That's awesome. That's really exciting. Something I was thinking about, when I was young, I remember my teachers always telling me to pay attention. And I never really understood what paying attention is. The thing is, like our educational system, we tell our students to pay attention. And I mean, that's a huge thing now, right? But the truth is they don't really know how. Like if you look at a lot of, I love like looking at things like samurai philosophy and things like that. But it's embedded in the Asian culture, right? They learn at a young age how to pay attention, how to focus your mind, how to exercise, exercise the mind like a muscle, through meditation, through breathing, all that stuff's important. So I don't know. I was just something I was thinking about. That's a powerful one. That's definitely one that has a lot more digging into. Yeah. Well, we're actually gonna, we're gonna be working on a program for psychology. We have something, a mindfulness-based stress reduction program that we're going to be offering to the students as a pilot. Wow. To help them to develop. You heard it here first, guys. Yeah, to help them develop that muscle because it's a superpower. Focusing is a superpower. I love it. I'm so excited for the students then. Yeah, me too. And it's going to be open for the whole campus or just for the psychology students? For the whole campus. Okay. For the whole campus. But I mean, we're still building it out. Yeah. But I'm excited about it. Yeah. There's so much research on the MBSR and just mindfulness in general. Like you can make huge advancements as an athlete. We have tons of athletes. Reaction times are faster. Focus is better. There's just huge implications for athletes. Absolutely. So. I'm excited for that program there. Yeah. You guys heard it first here at Living Life Alive You.
All right. So what's next steps for you for the rest of the quarter, rest of the year? What are you working on besides that? I want a little sneak peek.
Well, okay. So we're working on a lot of stuff. Like, we have, we have what's called Freaky Fridays. Mm-hmm. And that's usually, it's like a speaker series. Mm-hmm. We're working on Compassion Expo, mm-hmm. where students are going to do posters for compassion at ATL, and they're going to vote on them. And basically, these posters are on the concept of compassion. They're going to do so they'll do different topics related to compassion, and then they're going to vote on those, and then they're going to use them actually in their like marketing campaigns. So we're really trying to develop. I shouldn't say try. I hate that word. We're actually developing more. Just more activity-based learning that's very focused mm-hmm. on actually, producing more social change, and just very applied psychology, applying it actually in the real world. Yeah,
living with integrity.
Yes.
Yeah. Living what you speak. Yes. I love that.
Yes.
I love that. I'm really excited for all the changes that are coming. I'm excited for the new face. I'm excited that you are one of those new faces that the students meet on their Psychology 101, because the energy that you bring out, it's absolutely gorgeous. So for the people that are watching it, you probably are seeing the little beam coming out. So I'm really excited for that. Well, I'm really excited to have you here today. I'm really excited for the students to experience your class with you. How can they contact you? How can they build that relationship with you?
You can call me at 719-930-2545. But most of you, if you are my student, mm-hmm. or you already know that you have access to me anytime you need it.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for spending a few minutes of your day with us. I hope the rest of the quarter goes amazing. I know this podcast is going to be amazing. So have a beautiful rest of your day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for joining us on another episode of Living Life, a Life View. Bye.
Bye.